Hello everybody and welcome to another figure video review. Been a while, so I don't know how to speak, but we're taking a close look at some Black Series today, Star Wars. I went into GameStop, which usually is rather empty. Nobody really goes to that GameStop. And good thing too, because I did find this Darth Maul and this Cad Bane, Cad Bane from the Book of Boba Fett, and the Darth Maul is from Battlefront 2. So we're gonna do a double feature in this video. We're gonna start off with, we'll start out with Darth Maul here. Here we have the packaging again. It's also, we're looking at two different eras of packaging. We have the windowless and now the newer windowed again. Not new, but the windowed style that we were used to. There we have him and how tall he is. We have his name here, Darth Maul, Old Master, again from Battlefront 2, which is supposed to be sort of an alternate skin, which looks very lovely. You have a Gaming Greats sticker there. You have a cool art there on the side. And then you have a bio here of Darth Maul. So if you guys want to read up on Darth Maul here, you can. He's number 23, I guess, of the Gaming Greats subline. There he is, looking very cool. And yeah, not much else to say about the packaging. Let's take a close look at him, which for the most part, I think this is a fantastic looking figure. I'm not too familiar with the skin in the Battlefront game. I didn't really play it that much to, unlock the different skins and whatnot. And that game is pretty much dead at this point, so it's a bit unfortunate, but let's take a closer look here. The head sculpt came out amazing. It is sculpted well. You do have, the seams or the lines of the molding going through certain areas. Mostly like the top here, as you can see there, which is a bit unfortunate because it's not as smooth. But you get the little horns all over the place, and that looks cool. Even the ones here on his side. And then you get a beautiful looking head sculpt here of him sort of grinning angrily. The eyes came out fantastic. Getting another light here, maybe too much light. Maybe right there. But yeah, it's a fantastic looking head sculpt. I'm very pleased with it. And it's Darth Maul. You can't go wrong with Darth Maul. We are getting now, pretty cool figures from the Black Series line. We recently got the Droideka announcement and the Phase 1 clone troopers. So hopefully eventually we'll see a Revenge of the Sith Darth Maul. That would be really cool to see. But there's all the detail that he has on the back, on the legs. You get this sort of shiny plastic. It's not painted on there, but it's molded in that shiny kind of silvery plastic, which works rather well. Now, accessories wise, he does have his double-bladed lightsaber here. Mine's a tad bit warped. I think it needs to be a little bit straighter, about that much. The blades are removable, and if they are kind of a tight fit, like that's a lot of force to get them out. But they are removable, as you can see. But yeah, they do have sort of a peg, so it does hold in there rather well. Just so you know, look, that's quite a bit of force you need to use, and yeah, you will hear it click. But the hilt, the sword hilt here, looks very nice. Very intricate design here with these spikes and then this weird thing curving up. Just plain silver. There's not a lot of detailing other than some gray that you can see there. Maybe the light is too much, or maybe we need more light, but you can see some different contrast here, and then these buttons here and in here. So yeah, very cool. And of course, these are translucent, so you can shine a light through and stuff. So very nice lightsaber blade. And Darth Maul himself has some nice articulation. He can look up pretty well, up, down pretty well. He does have head tilt or pivoting there, and he can turn side to side. Very nice range in the head. Arms can go out about that much. They do rotate in there. You do get a bicep, not the bicep swivel, although I wish they had bicep swivels. That would make posing a whole lot better. But you have an elbow joint that goes a little bit over 90 degrees, and it does swivel in there, and both hands have a vertical hinge that goes up and down. And then you have a waist swivel, which is hidden by this sort of belly piece that goes across the back and the front, but you do get some nice like side to side, and then some nice forward and back. So yeah, good range there. You can kick about that much, and to the side not so much. I mean, not even to the front. That's about that's not too bad. And then to the side and then back, not so much. You do have your bicep swivel in here, and then you can slightly move it there in the hip joints, but you do have the thigh swivel there. You have knees that go about 90 degrees, and they also pivot in there. Foot hinges goes back. It kind of it's hindered by this little piece there, and then forward is going to be the same thing. It is hindered by this piece there, and then you do have ankle pivot. So overall, I'm satisfied with this figure. I think it looks amazing, and I hope you guys got a good look at it and got an idea of what his articulation is like. Alright, and up next we do have Cad Bane here from, again, the Book of Boba Fett TV show. In that green label, you have the Black Series logo there, the top window there, the logo, and then you have some art here looking very cool. And then you have a read-up on Cad Bane himself, so if you want to read that, you can go ahead. He's number 5 in the Book of Boba Fett series. And yeah, of course, you have an empty box in there now, which I guess, having the windowless is kind of cool because you have that full image there rather than an empty box, showing nothing. So there's a take on that, but I really don't care if those boxes are going to get thrown away. So, Cad Bane here, I think looks fine. It is the Book of Boba Fett, live action sort of appearance, which a lot of people didn't really like. I was okay with it. I really didn't mind it. Again, I'm not a huge Star Wars fan. I mean, I like the Star Wars, movies and stuff, but I'm not a die-hard Star Wars fan. But I do like to collect some of the, characters and figures, and Cad Bane was one that I wanted, simply because he's sort of a cowboy outlaw, gunslinger type of character, and I really like cowboys and that sort of stuff. But looking at some of the details here, we have his forearm gauntlets here with some nice little paint for the buttons and whatnot, with some tubes with some silver paint on them as well. You have his whole belt rig here with some metal plating there for his crotch. Gotta keep those private parts safe. And then you have these painted bullets there on the belt and nothing on the back. Would have been cool to have gotten that other plate painted silver, but it is the back and it's covered, so I see why they didn't paint it. And then you have his whole life support or buttons and whatnot here on his chest, and then here at his lower abdomen. Yeah, you get the red little paint here, but not much on these other ones. You get tiniest of red paint on this one. At least it looks red, unless the light's reflecting. But yeah, little silver paint details there, even on the jacket here on top. And then this piece here is connected to the entire jacket, so there's no hole going into his back. It's just on the jacket. or the coat, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, it's in that plain sort of, not even silver, it's like a lighter kind of different shade of brown. But yeah, all of that with the pipes and whatnot are also brown until you get to this, where it's silver, which is very nice. You get over to this other gauntlet, you also have painted buttons and whatnot, and you know, the wire going over here, which, you know, this one's silver, this one's kind of yellowish. At the feet, you have the bullets going around the boot there, and that looks very cool. His pistols are, I mean, molded pretty well. I'm not sure how accurate they are, but they are painted nicely, which is nice. And then you do have a hole there for blast effects, because in the end, this figure is just a reissue of a Cad Bane that was in a 2-pack with, what's his name, Cobb Vanth, I think I got that right. I just believe what they changed was the facial expression on this Cad Bane, and they didn't include, you know, the blast effects, which he did come with in that 2-pack, which is a bit of a shame. That's something I'm always annoyed at when it comes to Black Series. They don't give us, you know, blast effects, you know, for it being Star Wars and the big part of that being, you know, the, you know, other than the lightsabers, you get, you know, blasters that blast, you know, cool, you know, energy colors and stuff. And we don't get those kind of blast effects in the Black Series, and I think that would be a good step and something cool to include with characters that, you know, shoot and stuff. You know, clone troopers should have their little blast effects to go along with their blasters, but that's unfortunately not the case. But further on, we do have his hat here, which is removable, which I really love, and you have some silver plates going along, looking very cool. I like the texturing of the hat, looks very nice. And you have a 1 inside there, and then his head sculpt I think came out fantastic as well. The eyes, like I said, he has a different expression in that 2-pack, so I believe he was a bit more angry. Here he's a little more stoic, not as angry. You have his other plate there on his head, looking very cool. And yeah, I mean, I think he looks fantastic. Again, I don't mind this look of Cad Bane in the Book of Boba Fett. I think he looks fine and he looks cool. And yeah, he also has, you know, holsters for his 2 pistols. Here's the other one, also painted nicely. And articulation is okay for the most part. You can look up about that much. The hat is going to be a little loose, but you can look up about that much, down about that much. And then you do have some great hip pivoting, and these wires, pipes, don't really get in the way. You do get butterfly joints, as you can see there, so he can move his arms forward about that much, and back. You can extend them out about that much. You do have the rotation in there, and then you don't get that much great of band at the arms, which is a bit unfortunate. It's not even like 90. It's a little, almost 90, but not there. I wish we could have gotten a little bit more, especially for his, you know, shooting poses. So that, yeah, that's a bit unfortunate for me. You do have the pivot in there, and then both hands articulate vertically up and down. You get the waist swivel here, which, no, not really hindered by his coat, but he doesn't really go forward that much. Back he does, but forward not so much. You do have side to side. He can kick out about that much, and then he doesn't have the thigh rotation, but you do get, you know, rotation there at the hip joints, and then you get a bend there, very nice bend, but that does look kind of ugly there. And a swivel there for the leg. You do get boot rotation, which is something we really don't see with the Black Series, and then you do get some back motion with the foot, some up motion, and of course the ankle pivot. So yeah, that is Cad Bane. the single release for the Book of Boba Fett. Again, I don't mind the look of the character. I really like, the style of this character. So I was gonna pick up some version of him at some point, and I found this guy at GameStop, so I thought, why not? Now, something I want to show you guys real quick is that you can port G.I. Joe classified class effects on these pistols. And there you go. So you see how much more dynamic that looks. I have a blue one and a red one. I believe the ones we see in the show are red, so if you have these class effects from G.I. Joe Classified, I think they work pretty well. It just gives them a little more dynamic look. And yeah, I'm just glad that the ports are actually the same size and that they do work. So that's an option for you guys. Just wanted to let you guys know about that. Alright, so that does it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. In the end, which one do I prefer? I like them both equally. I think if Cad Bane had a little more range in his arms, I would have preferred him, especially, he's a cowboy. He's supposed to be able to, tip his head and whatnot, but he can't really do it. I mean, that's forcing the arm to move in that direction at that point, but it won't stay. But yeah, a little more range in those arms would have been nice for Cad Bane to get those, cowboy Wild West poses. Because even doing this sort of draw from the hip is kind of difficult because the arm can't bend in the right way. But, for the most part, I can make it work. And Darth Maul just looks amazing. And I do hope we get a Revenge of the Sith version, now that we have all these prequel figures being announced and whatnot. But that is my review on these two figures. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in a future video.